This is going to be a very hard video. If you've been following my channel, you know that I took part in a challenge called the Family Day Challenge. If you haven't heard of it, or if you want to know more information, you can click on the link over here, or it could be here. It's one of these two locations. I'll also leave it in the description, that way it's less confusing. But I took part in a challenge, and basically the main point of the challenge was you were not allowed to use your cell phone for the entire family day. That's February 18th here in Ontario. Basically, yeah, that's it. No phone for one full day. You have to focus on the people in front of you. You gotta communicate. You can't use your phones. And guess what? I'm not even gonna beat around the bush. And I'm not proud of this, but I failed. Yeah, I failed. That's it. I failed. I did not succeed. By 9 p.m. I was just on my phone scrolling through Instagram, and I was like, I don't care. I can't do it. Can't do it. And if you think about it, I was so close. I needed about 3 more hours before I would have made it. And sadly, I didn't. Now I'm quite an egotistical person, so I would never make a video admitting that I failed something. But the reason why I'm making this video today is because there's a lot of things that I learned from this challenge. There were so many amazing things that I learned from this challenge. And I'm kind of glad that I failed it, because there's so many things that I didn't realize before taking on this challenge. And I wanted to share those with you in this video. So, let's begin by doing that. So the first thing that I realized was that everyone uses cell phones. Which I know that sounds really stupid when you think about it, but it's true. Everyone uses cell phones. We are in a society where everyone is communicating through cell phones. And so if you have to make a plan, if you have to figure out what your plans are later, if you want to do any kind of organization or planning, guess what you're using? That's right. You're using your phone. And so that's the first problem that I noticed with this challenge, is that people use their phones. So I had to go to the gym, and I was getting a ride with my brother, and of course, the only way for me to figure out when he was coming or when I should go down to the lobby of my apartment was when he texted. And maybe I should have had the foresight to clear my entire schedule, but sadly I didn't. I was just like, I could continue on as if this is a normal day, but really you can't, because everyone around you is using phones to communicate. That is the method of communication now, right? You can't break that, because then you are kind of disconnected from society. The other thing I learned is that if you don't use your phone and you're very used to using your phone, you will constantly find your hand reach towards your pocket and try to grab your phone, only to realize that it can't do that, and you're like, oh, okay, so you put your hand, so your hand's kind of going like this, and then like that, and then like this, and like that. And it's something that's pretty cool for me to realize, because I realize how much I have to have my phone in my hand. How often do I have to do that? And it's quite a lot. Even if I just want to check the time really quickly, or if I just want to hold it and physically feel it, it's kind of like a fidget spinner that doesn't spin. It just has to be in my hand. It's kind of like something that I have to do with my hands, and that's interesting to know. A little bit scary, but interesting. The third thing that I didn't account for when I was making this challenge was that there's a lot of times when there's nobody around you and you're just waiting. So I was getting picked up for the gym, and I was waiting in my apartment lobby, and I was like, okay, what do I do? You can only stare around for a few minutes until you're like, okay, I need to do something. And all of this has made me realize something. We live in a society where we need cell phones. It's no longer something that you have to have. It's no longer a luxury, it's a necessity. And that's something that's a little bit worrying for me as a person, is that I need my cell phone. I don't want it, but I need it. And so I admire people who are able to completely disconnect from their phone, because clearly I can't. I'm having trouble disconnecting from my phone. And I've realized that cell phones as a whole aren't the entire problem. It's how you use it. It comes down to cell phones being like a double-edged sword, right? There's good and then there's the bad, and depending on how you use it, it can either be very good or incredibly bad. And what I've realized is that when I spend a lot of my time just scrolling through my social media and using my phone because I'm incredibly bored, or just, as a time waster, is not something that I consider good for myself. I'd rather be doing something else, like reading a book or spending time with the people who are around me. And so it's not the cell phone's problem, it's the other application. And I've actually realized this a while ago, and I actually did take actions in order to make sure that, you know, this isn't such a big problem. So what I did actually was I disabled all notifications on my phone. So now if someone messages me through Facebook, or if I get a notification, or on Instagram, or even on WhatsApp or Twitter, I won't receive it unless I open the app. The only notifications I will get are from iMessage or email. So the good thing about this is that I feel like I'm in control of when I want to respond to stuff. Usually if I see a notification on my phone, I'm like, oh, I have to answer it. This person's waiting, I have to answer it. And there's that anxiety that builds up in you just because you see a notification or a little red badge. But now, because I don't have that pressure where I feel like I have to respond to something. I can kind of choose when I want to. If you want to reduce your cell phone time, is don't go cold turkey. It's not going to be easy. But reduce your cell phone time as much as you can. So instead of, if you only want to use social media for like 30 minutes, make a 30-minute appointment in your notebook or whatever, and just handle all social media then. And then that way you don't have to look at it for the rest of your entire day. Your day is yours to do whatever you want. And once again, I'm not saying that social media is a bad thing, because I use social media for work, right? Like I do the Clearly Literate Cafe stuff on social media. I promote my videos. Like I have to use it, right? It's part of like the function that I have to do. So it's just there. That's what it has to be. So I know this video doesn't have a point. I just wanted to share some of my experiences with this challenge because I thought it was pretty interesting. And I want you to let me know what you thought, because some of you actually did the challenge and you were like, oh, this was so easy, I was able to do it. And some of you actually admitted that you knew you wouldn't be able to do it. And, you know, kudos to you for even considering doing it, because it's not easy, I can tell you that right now. But I want your opinion in the comments. How do you feel that social media, how do you feel your cell phone is affecting you? And do you feel like you have it under control, or is it something that is distracting to you? So yeah, leave your comments in the comment section below. And while you're scrolling down, click that subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell button as well. Basically, that will notify you every time I post a new video on YouTube. And, you know, that way you're not missing out. You're not like, oh, I have to wait until he posts it on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. You're in the know. You're like, okay, I got the next video. And then you can brag about it to your friends at school or at work and then make them feel jealous or something. And if you like short films, I have a short film that's out on my website, the Clearly Illiterate Cafe. It's a short film called Life on Mars. Yes, it's named after the David Bowie song that I love so much. And it's about living, it's about life. It's very hard to explain, so I'd suggest watching it instead. You can check out the trailer on the website. I will leave the link below, and you can watch it for free there as well. So make sure you head over there and check it out. And I will see you in the next video.